This crate was hurled out the plane, but it's still in one piece. True British workmanship. We can make an indestructible crate, but we can't build trains that run on time. A piece of my plane's propeller. Poor girl, took quite a beating. She'll never forgive me. That sled was in my plane. I use it during the winter to unload cargo. It looks like the crash didn't do it too much harm, although the seat's missing. Looks like I can still use this. It's only the seat that's missing. I'll take it with me. I could use that to pry open the lid. Who would have guessed? It worked. The crate's open. A few of the things inside might come in handy. Let's see what we have here. A gramophone and a few records. Most of it smashed to pieces. I'd take a ration pack over smashed records any day. Although I'd take whole records and a working gramophone over the ration pack. Josephine Baker is all the sustenance I need. I don't really need a sled with legs just now. My Ford. They only made 199. Guess there's one less now. Still, I better get to Kimmy. She's almost as beautiful. I can't reach it from down here. My Ford. They only made 100. Crap. We've crashed in the middle of the uncharted Himalayas. We could be hundreds of miles away from anything. Nice view, though. Whoa! Good boy! Good sheep! The Argali's trying to defend its territory. I'll leave it to it. They look like ritual incense sticks. There must be a way to do this without bloodshed, especially since it's most likely to be my blood getting shed. Whoa! Good boy! Good sheep! The Argali's trying to The wrecked Messerschmitt. Looks like it didn't get much further than my little Ford. Good. Might be something over there I can use to help Kim. I need to get over this crevasse first. Lush white snow. No point trekking up there for no reason. That's nearly a 200-meter drop. Lucky I'm not afraid of heights, or anything at all. If I could take a run up, and if it weren't so slippery, and if the wind were a bit calmer, then maybe, just maybe, I'd be able to jump over to the other side. However, this massive collection of conditionals does give me the feeling that my plan might be a tad too risky. The wing of the aircraft. If I could take a run up, and if it weren't so slippery, and if the wind were a bit calmer, then maybe, just. However, this... No thanks. My fingers are already frozen stiff. A big pile of... snow. Hey, with a decent sled and enough snow, I might actually build up enough speed to jump the gap. 2 problems. 1, my sled's broken. 2, there's not enough snow. I don't really need a sled with legs just now. I can use this to replace the missing seat. You know what? If I could pick up enough speed on the sled, I might just about make the jump across the crevasse. However, there's really not enough snow cover to get me all the way. Damn it. That would have been heroic. I can use this to collect some snow. I'll spread the snow evenly across the rock, but I'll need a couple more loads to get everything covered nicely. Okay, I'm done. I can't believe I'm about to jump a crevasse in a sled, but it's all fixed up and there's enough snow. Made my sled better lie in it. Yoo-hoo! Can't believe that worked. Stunning. The wing's covering's damaged. It looks loose. There's some sharp edges. I can't remove it with bare hands. I could use that to remove the cover without cutting my hands. The wing's framework. Most of the cockpit is missing. Looks like the pilot got out in time. Let's see if I can find anything useful. Most of the cockpit is missing. The tail of the wreck has caught fire. This isn't a moving picture though. It's not about to explode. Though if it did, I'm sure that somehow a lone cartwheel would roll out of the wreck. The wing is too heavy to take with me, but I can push it over the slippery ground. It's actually nice and warm here if you keep a little distance. Considering the temperatures, I really don't need to get any important part of my body wet right now. It's a puddle of melted water. The gramophone horn has an opening in the bottom. This makes it an impractical liquid receptacle. My Ford. They only make... A sled as a weapon? I'm an intelligent guy. I can think my way around this obstacle. There must be a way to do this without bloodshed, especially since it's most likely to be my blood getting shed. This seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. Ah, that'll work. I can cut out the jacket lining to find some kind of document. If my German's up to scratch, which it isn't, but let's assume it is, then this is the permit you need for safe escort through a foreign country during a military operation. I should have a closer look at it. Okay, I'll put the lambskin on the sled so I'll have a nice soft seat next time. Hey, this is starting to look like an animal. My sled really does look a little bit like an argali, but something's missing. And now for some legs. Wow, this thing is uncannily lifelike. I mean, if I squint my eyes a bit, it starts to scare me. I wonder what'll happen next. Ah, it destroyed my beautiful handiwork. Oh well. This seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. This horn broke off when the Argali went after my sled. Oh, and now the leather strap is coming off. Great. They look like ritual incense sticks. I don't want to steal these and end up getting smited. Oh, ancient Tibetan god, if you want to hold on to these, please give me some sign. Nope, I guess we're good. This seems to be a... My Ford. They only made 100. This leather strap was wound around the horns of my sled. Oh, the horn's all that's left of my pet ram. God rest his soul. Do animals go to heaven? What about fake ones? Those are the incense sticks the natives burn during their rituals. My Ford. I can't reach it from down here. Considering the temperatures, I really don't need to get any important part of my body wet right now. Binoculars. The record shattered and the rest of the gramophone's MIA. Not promising. The gramophone horn has an opening in the bottom. This makes it an impractical liquid. I'll light one of them. Phew, what a stink. Perfume's not really a man's thing. The stick's just smouldering. That's not enough heat to light another one. I've already lit one. That's quite enough for me. It's certainly pungent. There are other words I'd use to describe the smoke, but I think I'll leave it at that. It's a puddle of melted water. This seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. I haven't the faintest idea what that is. Looks like coal, though. What are those strange lumps? Looks like coal. Or... oh no, of course not. It's poo. Pleasant aroma or not, this stuff is better off in there than outside. I feel more comfortable about it. Let's see. That stuff actually burns. And it doesn't even smell that bad. Finally, a stroke of luck. No thanks. A big pile of snow. I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing could wake the dead. This seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. I think, yes. It would definitely be in my interest not to burn the documents. Oh, the horns. my Ford? This seems to be a place... I've lit an incense stick. The stick's just smouldering. That's not enough heat to light another one. I've already lit one. That's quite enough for me. I've already lit one. The framework of the Messerschmitt's wings. It's made of lightweight aluminium. I can't reach it from down here. Nothing left inside. This leather strap was wound around the horns of my sled. This seems to be a place of worship for the locals, although it looks like they might have more popular tourist attractions. I've lit an incense stick. It's actually nice and warm here if you keep a little distance. Most of the cockpit is missing. Looks like the pilot got out in time. Okay, I'll wet the leather strap. It's cold. Oh, nice. The strap's frozen through already. The leather strap is frozen stiff. I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing could... The stick's just... I can't reach it from down here. I can't reach it. A piece of my plane's... That's nearly a 200-meter drop. Lucky I'm not afraid of heights, or anything at all. Binoculars. Considering the temperatures, I really... I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing... That's nearly a 200-meter... Lush white snow.
Crap. We've crashed in the middle of the
It's too steep and icy. I can't climb up there without help.
Kim!
Thank goodness. She's alive.
Kim! Can you hear me?
Damn it, she's unconscious. But I'll never get her out of the wreck without her help. I need to wake her somehow. That might work. The cockpit's completely crushed. Kim's lucky she doesn't have any real injuries. Perhaps I can push the cockpit to the side a bit and then pull Kim out. No chance. I'll never get Kim out of there without her help. I've lit an incense stick. The smell from this thing could wake the dead.
This smoke is vile. Let's hope it wakes her up. Kim! You alive?
What? Yeah, I think so. Oof, what's that awful smell?
Sorry, I had to wake you up somehow, and I didn't really think you'd like the alternative. Are you sure you're okay?
Pretty sure. My head is aching and I'm cold as ice, but other than that, everything's fine.
We have to get you out of there. Help me lift the roof of the cockpit. Damn it! It's barely budging.
Now what? You better have a plan B.
I'm working on it.
Whatever you're doing, do it faster.
I need more strength to get the cockpit off.
Sharp propeller blades plus cockpit equals open sesame. Blades plus soft flesh equals a very angry Kim. Better leave it alone. Let's get this chute hooked up to the cockpit. Okay, ripcord time.
Ha! Did you see that? Done.
Wonderful. I'm gonna kill you anyway.
Do it later. Right now, we have to get you out of this wreck. Well, thawed out again. You slept almost 4 hours.
I'm still pretty cold.
Move about a bit. You'll warm up. We've got the fire burning. We're not going to keel over anytime soon.
Wow, you really know how to reassure a girl. So what do we do now? Let me guess. You'll think of something.
We'll have to stay here for the night. It'll be dark soon.
A whole night? In the cold? Oh, wonderful. That's something to tick off my to-do before I die list. Probably the last thing. Remind me, you made me leave Hong Kong because... What was it you said? To be safe? Yeah, that was it. Come with me, you said. Otherwise the Triads will kill you, you said.
Kim.
You're safe with me, you said. The great hero, Fenton Paddock.
Kim!
Let Fenton Paddock keep you safe. Absolutely no chance of being chased by Triads, shot down by Nazis, and stranded in the middle of the Himalayas to freeze to death. No, sir.
Kim, shut up for a second and listen to me. While you were sleeping, I checked out your uncle's documents.
So?
He was traveling this region in 1922 with a researcher named Arthur Hayes. Ring any bells?
Yes, Uncle Wang told me about that expedition many times. Professor Hayes had taken him along on his Himalaya trip as a cartographer.
Well, I noticed something really strange. Most of his notes are written in traditional Chinese, but your uncle wrote some of the sections in a language I've never seen before. According to what I could read, he and Hayes were looking for a monastery, which they figured was in this region. Do you know what that means?
That you can't read every kind of language?
Be serious. If there really is a monastery somewhere around here, it might be a safe place to head towards.
Okay. My uncle sometimes wrote certain things in a kind of secret script that only he and I could decipher. Show me the documents.
Here, can you read any of it?
Well, it says here that a storm hit and my uncle and Professor Hayes took shelter in a cave.
We were more than happy to have found shelter in time. When we moved further into the cave, we noticed we were not the only ones seeking shelter there. In the glow of our torches, we recognized a man leaning against the cave wall. Hayes spoke to him, but the stranger did not react. On closer inspection, we realized why. The man was dead. He was frozen stiff, and it was likely he had already been there for quite some time. The man was wearing a monk's robe and presumably had an attack of weakness during a pilgrimage. Hayes brought my attention to something. The torn up and burned remains of a parchment lay beside the corpse. It is possible that the monk had used the last of his strength to build a fire. On examining the burnt remains more closely, it turned out to be a map. Hayes was able to determine a few checkpoints and thus conclude that it showed the region we were in. The texts we were able to identify on the map were written in an ancient script, of which Hayes was able to translate little. While the professor's eyes wandered across the map, he suddenly gasped. His trembling fingers moved over one word, Kembalong. Hayes, who had studied every possible source of information prior to beginning his expedition, explained that many myths and legends shrouded a valley by that name. They say there is an ancient monastery in the valley where no outsider has ever been. According to the legends, the monks from Kembalong Valley guard an ancient and very powerful secret. It was possible that we had come across a key to this hidden valley, and Hayes suddenly became excited when he realized what that could mean for him, the leader of the Tibet expedition. In that moment, I took a closer look at the dead monk. Could he be one of those monks living a secluded life in the valley? Where did he want to go? Or was he returning from somewhere and didn't have the strength to continue? My eyes dropped to his hands, and I noticed that the fingers of his left hand were wrapped tightly around something. Hayes noticed it too and opened the clutched fingers in a somewhat harsh manner. Hayes grasped the object and held it to the light of my torch. It was a stone, resembling the eye of a dragon. There was a green gemstone in its center, through which the light was refracted, falling onto the walls in a most fascinating pattern. Hayes put the stone away. He must have noticed the look on my face, because he justified himself. He remarked that the stone was better off in the hands of a researcher than those of some farmers or shepherds who might discover the cave someday.
Okay, now skip a few passages. Did they find the monastery?
Hold your horses. It's been a while since I last read this stuff. I'm a little rusty. They headed off to find the Kembalong Valley, but the approaching winter made it impossible. They couldn't make it through the mountains, so they broke off the hunt. They got home, and Hayes tried to raise money for another expedition with better equipment, but nobody was interested. People figured he was hunting myths. Uncle drew a map showing the valley's estimated location. It shows us where they gave up as well.
Perfect. We can use it.
I don't know, it's all pretty vague. How do you know the monastery exists at all?
Hayes and your uncle believed it was here. Right now, that's good enough for me. And, to be perfectly honest, it is our only chance.
Then I suppose we don't have a choice.
Wait. Can you hear that?
Sounds like an engine. Oh no. Not another plane?
No, that's not a plane. It sounds more like... a truck. Grab your stuff. Change of plan.
What?
We're following the truck. It must be going somewhere.
Could we stop for a moment, please?
No, we need to keep moving. The snow's already starting to cover the tracks. Can you make it a bit further?
Do I have a choice?
I'm sure we'll find something soon.
And what makes you so sure?
I'm a boundless optimist.
Hey, what is that?
Looks like a military camp.
I didn't know Tibet had an army.
They don't. Remember that fighter plane?
Germans? What are they doing here? Have they attacked Tibet?
I doubt it. Let's break out the glasses. Damn it.
What's going on?
They're holding British soldiers captive. There's at least one officer with them.
Richard?
No, not Richard. But maybe someone from his unit. They must have met the Germans somewhere along the line.
What are we going to do?
What do you think? Rescue the officer, debrief him, find the rest of his group, and get everyone home in time for tea and medals.
And we do that how?
We? Forget it, Kim. You've made it this far, but you're sitting this one out.
What? You expect me to just sit here and watch while you break into a heavily guarded military camp, get caught and tortured, and then leave me to freeze to death?
For now, we just need to get the lay of the land. Then we'll wait till dark and make a foolproof plan. How's that?
Why do I always let you talk me round?
Maybe because you actually think I'm a pretty great guy.
Dream on, Paddock.
Okay, so far, so easy. Something tells me that's about to change. This place is bigger than it looked. What the hell are the Germans up to out here?
Where are you going, Werner?
To take a leak!
Just make sure you don't fall down a crevasse. It's like Swiss cheese around here, you know.
I'm not stupid, you know.
Good thing he picked the other side of the barracks to do his business. The guards seem to be having a nice little tea party. If they want to slack off, that's just fine by me. Actually, another time, another place, I might join them. The truck Kim and I followed. It's locked. I can't just strut in through the main gate. I'm not sure all the soldiers are enjoying liquid celebrations. The guards' barracks. I have no idea what made these holes. Strange. What a lovely party they're having. Ah well, some of us have to work.
Let's see what that sign says. Wow, 2 crash landings in one day. Bad karma. Ah well, 2 crashes and no casualties. That's something. Although I dropped some of my gear. Never mind. Let's get out of here.
Paddock? Fenton, can you hear me?
Kim? Damn it, didn't I tell you to wait?
Oh, stop playing the hero. It doesn't suit you. Of course, I could always just leave you here and go back.
No. Just make sure nobody sees you.
Don't fret. What's it look like down there? Can you climb back up?
Not through the tunnel. I've slid down about 10 meters. But there are some passages here.
Shh, be quiet.
Kim? Kimmy? Is everything okay?
Yep, coast clear. I'll take a look around up here. There must be something we can get you back up with.
Okay, but be careful.
Always. There's all kinds of rubbish in this crate. I'll take a paper with me. If I need more, I'll know where to find them. Let's see if I can find something useful in all this. Ah, yes. There's no such thing as the wrong time and place for home economics. Apart from perhaps anywhere and everywhere in a male-dominated society. These notes belong to my uncle. He recorded everything that happened during his expedition with Professor Hayes in 1922. Some of the text is written in a secret code that only my uncle and I can read. It seems he wanted to prevent anyone else from reading certain information, such as the section where he describes how he and Hayes found a dead monk who had a gemstone shaped like a dragon's eye, and a half-burned map in his possession. The map contained unusual characters in an ancient script, and the layout of a hidden valley that Hayes was desperate to find. I should stay close by, in case Fenton needs something, and I'm sure he will. Cookware, consisting of a pot and a lid. Doc! You might want to back up a bit. Watch out! An issue of the Volkisches Tageblatt, a Nazi newspaper. There's a picture of a company of soldiers on the front page. The truck we followed. It's not doing much good here, so I'll just take it with me. It's too big. It'll only get stuck. Watch it, Fenton! If this hits you in the face, you won't get any uglier, but you can still lose a few brain cells. Whatever's causing these holes isn't going to do so much longer. Watch your head down there!
Thank goodness I didn't fall down there. Some of my things weren't so lucky. Not a chance. I can't even see the bottom. Some large chunks of ice fell from the ceiling when I landed. I'm feeling lucky. Let's see where this leads. This place looks familiar. Of course, as an expert scout, orientation is one of many survival skills I possess, which means I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm going round in circles. I felt a draft at one stage, so there's got to be another route out. There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking to beautiful women, not when hopelessly lost in an icy cave of doom. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. Some large chunks of ice fell. I'll grab a few smaller chunks of ice, just in case I come across any fine bourbons on my travels. I'll put some lumps of ice in the pot. Great idea. Well, it would be if the burner was switched on. That said, I'm not flame retardant. I'd need something to hold the pot over the flame. Preferably something other than my fingers. I'll light the burner. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. Okay, let's stick the lid onto the pot. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. My word, a grappling hook. I am so resourceful. I value my hand. I need some. It's certainly not my favorite flavor, but it's burning. Terribly dark. There's a time for blind confidence. There's a draft coming. It's too high and icy. I need another way out. This log has a large knot in it. There are a few lumps of ice in the sealed pot. We're cooking. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame.
These notes belong to my uncle. Some of the text is written in a It seems he wanted to prevent anyone else from reading certain information, such as the section where he describes how he and Hayes found a dead monk who had a gemstone shaped like a dragon's eye and a half-burned map in his possession. The map contained unusual characters in an ancient script and the layout of a hidden valley that Hayes was desperate to find. An issue of the full... Fancy some light reading, Paddock?
They'd certainly burn well, but I don't fancy lighting them in my bare hands.
An issue of the...
They'd certainly burn...
The truck we followed. The guards' barracks. The windows ajar. Daily newspaper.
Not a chance. I can't even see the bottom. There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking. There's a draft coming from somewhere.
There are a few lumps of ice in the sealed pot. This log has a large knot in it. This log... We're cooking. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. There are a few lumps. This log...
My pockets are getting cold and damp. I don't need any more ice. Some large... My pockets are getting...
Small chunk... That's enough ice for now.
An issue of...
Not a chance. I can't even see the bottom. Thank goodness I didn't fall down there. There's a time for blind confidence. There's a drop. They'd certainly. I value my hands. I need something else. This log.
It's too big. It'll only get stuck. The sign warns of crevasse. I should stay close by, in case Fenton needs something. And I'm sure he will. He's annoying, but I do hope Fenton... I better make sure I don't join him. The guards throw... I should stay close by, in case Fenton needs something. And I'm sure he will.
That's enough ice for now. Thank goodness I didn't. Not a chance. I can't even see the bottom. This log has a large knot in it. They'd certainly burn well, but I don't fancy We're cooking. They'd certainly burn well.
An issue.
Oh no. That was just... some large chunk... There's a time for blind... There's a giraffe coming from... Oh no. Those are the incense sticks the natives burned. This log has a large knot in it. My pockets are... I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame.
These notes, some of the text is written in a it seems, such as the map. The sign warns of daily newspapers. Looks like the paper boy around here has his work cut out. The guards' barracks. The guards' barracks. I should stay close by. Fenton needs my help. Fenton needs my...
You have started the assistant. Here you can find information and a summary of events in the game. You can always check to see what objective your hero must complete next, just in case you lose track. But don't worry, this information won't spoil any of the puzzles.
He's annoying, but I do hope Fenton finds a way back up. I better make sure I don't join him.
Fenton fell into a crevasse while attempting to infiltrate a Nazi camp. Now he has to find a way out of this awkward situation, with help from Kim.
I value my... I need some... They'd certainly burn... That's enough ice.
It's too high and icy. I need another way out.
The tunnel I slid down. There are a few lumps of ice in the sealed pot. I need something. We're cooking. This log has... Thank goodness I did.
It's too high.
The tunnel I...
An issue of the Völkisches Tageblatt, a Nazi newspaper. The front page is plastered with a photo of German soldiers marching.
There's a time for blood. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. Small chunks of ice. All that's missing is a good glass of bourbon. I'd settle for a cheap one. We're cooking. The sticks... I've already lit one. They'd certainly... My pockets are getting... There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking to beautiful women, not when hopelessly lost in an icy cave of doom. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking to beautiful women, not when hopelessly lost in an icy cave of doom. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. There's a time for blind confidence, and that time is when talking to beautiful women, not when hopelessly lost in an icy cave of doom. There's a draft coming from somewhere. That must be the best route out. I just can't tell from where. Okay, so if I just stand here and watch which way the smoke goes... Bingo! It's drifting down the left-hand passage. Ugh, this place smells like Gus's house. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. Building rubble, wood scraps, and other rubbish. Nothing useful. Aside from that, most of it's frozen. Hey, a pocket knife. Of course. All the blades are broken off. Why on earth wouldn't they be? I should have known. Oh well, the corkscrew's still in one piece. Someone had their priorities right. Let's see what I can carve out. Not much, as it turns out. But I've used the corkscrew to pull out the knot. Okay, I've stuck the wood chip into the hole in the lid. I value my hands. I need something else to hold the pot over the flame. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. Might work. I'll make a nice little fire down here, and the layer of ice up there will melt away. Fingers crossed. Then all I need to do is work out how the hell to get up there, although that may be academic, since most of this rubbish appears to be frozen solid. I can't reach it. I value my... I need some... I can't throw the hook through that layer of ice. I better keep this for a while. I might need it later on. I better keep this for a... I value my... I need some... I think that'll do. It's unlikely enough they've helped me twice already. I think I'll quit while I'm ahead. I can't stand that smell any longer.
better keep this. I better keep. Might work. Then all I need to do is work out how the hell to get up there. Although, that may be academic, since most of this rubbish appears to be frozen solid. I better keep this. A large, heavy log. It's full of ice. I value I need some. I can see the light. Ha! Always wanted to say that. There's a thin layer of ice covering most of the crevasse, but I can still feel the draft. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. A pocket knife where only the corkscrew works. Someone's got their priorities right. I'm not going round in a circle again. I'm getting dizzy. I'm not going round in a circle again. I'm getting dizzy. I'm not going round in a circle again. I'm getting dizzy. I must be right under the camp. The Germans tossed their rubbish into this cave. I'll put a few pages up here between the scraps of wood. The newspapers are burning. Let's hope the rest of it catches. Still, it should manage to melt the ice, provided I've got a few years to kill. Oh wait, I'm on a top priority secret mission. I need a new plan. It's more likely to kill the fire than feed it. Let's see what happens next. The practical side of physics isn't bad. The wooden bullet thing went straight through the ceiling of ice. Well, look at that. School science did teach me something useful after all. The pressure shot the chip straight up like a bullet. Ouch, ouch, ouch! Hot! There's still enough water in the pot. It's more likely to kill the fire than feed it. It's empty. The little flame's dancing. Dance harder, flames. Frozen rubbish doesn't burn as well as I'd hoped. No, the little flame's dancing.
No, not again.
I've already chucked everything burnable into the fire. The rest of the rubbish pile is frozen solid, and more paper isn't going to change that. I've already... It's more like... I've already destroyed...
There's water in the pot.
I've already destroyed the layer of ice in the ceiling. Impromptu bolt projectile apparatus are fun, but I don't really need to construct another one. A large heavy log. Score. Freedom, here I come. I can't reach it. Aim well. That must be the tent we saw from above. I hope our guy's okay. Leftover ammunition inside. Let's see if I can use any of this. Well, on the plus side, there's a grenade here. On the downside, it's most likely a dud. Judging by the engine noise and the smell, there are diesel generators in this shed. Locked. Locked. Might come in handy sometime, but I have to take care of other things first. Judging by the engine noise and the smell, there are diesel generators in this shed. There's one just like that standing in front of the gate. I can't open the vent. The generator motor sucks in air through this opening. I shouldn't go any further. The guy over there might see me, and then fun time's over. Might come in handy. The water would cause a short circuit. Sounds promising.
Mensch, what's happened now? Must be the generator.
What now? He can't stay in there forever. I'm not leaving my cover until I can be sure he's out of action. I'm not leaving my cover until I can be sure he's out of action. Judging by the engine noise and the smell, there are deep... A portable welding machine.
Hey, now what's wrong? Hallo? Hilfe! Can anyone hear me out there? Something's blocking the door. Hallo?
Good thing the generator in the other hut's loud enough to drown out his shouting. It won't budge. The lid seems to be jammed.
Okay, I'll ask you again. How did the monk and your lieutenant escape the monastery? Which secret passage did they use? We can go on like this for days. I have hundreds of these records, and you seem to enjoy the music. Or surely you would object. If it's still too quiet, I'd be happy to turn up the volume.
My word, it's Thomas. Thomas Finch. He's an officer in Richard's unit. I knew him from the service back in Hong Kong. It looks like they're torturing him with German marching music. It's booming through his headphones. A fate worse than death. I could deal with this guard, if he wasn't as wide as a door frame. Since I left my black belt at home, I'll have to be a bit more subtle. This guy's a machine. One-on-one, he'd mince me. I can't get over there without getting caught by Mr. Kick My Ass. I'll never make... Thomas is being held in this tent. I've got to get him out. Yes, I can use this to lift the lid a bit. Let's see what I can pull out through the gap. A portable welding machine. I've covered the edges of the pieces with glue. Now they just need to go back together. I can pick up, turn and set down the pieces. No reason why I shouldn't be able to handle this. This big piece is probably a good starting point. This big piece is probably a good starting point. I'll leave it here. Job done. I've glued the record back together. Of course, the light-coloured glue in the cracks won't stand up to scrutiny. At all.
I've unscrewed the top of the grenade and poured out the gunpowder. The gunpowder's sticking to the glue in the cracks. You can hardly see them. The record looks as good as new. I rubbed some gunpowder over the glued cracks. It's a bit rough, but it should hold up to inspection.
A buzzsaw blade. I'll take it out of the cover. Locked.
Might come in handy sometime, but I have to take care of other things first. I can't go any further. There's a guard up in that hut. Granted, he appears to be sleeping, but I'd rather not take the risk. Without a cover, he'll notice straight away. Thomas Finch. I have to get... I can't get over there. Without a cover, he'll notice. Good God, where in the world did they breed that guy? Locked. A vice. I'll take the now powdered record out again, carefully. An empty cardboard cup. Without a cover, he'll notice straight away. An empty cardboard cover. Brown, simple, practical. Fine. I'll put the saw blade back in the cover. Without a cover. Good God, where... I could just grab him from behind, but he doesn't look like an amateur. I need to get Thomas's attention and double team this guy.
Of course, he's too busy enjoying German marching music. Thomas's headphones. Josephine Baker, I love you. Thomas could probably do with a bit of swing right now. Nothing like good old Josephine to get a man's attention. I need to get the record onto the player without anyone noticing. A buzzsaw blade. I'll take it out of the cup.
Judging by the engine noise and the smell, there are diesel generators in this shed.
Leftover ammunition inside. Locked. I did a top-notch repair job. I don't want to ruin it by getting glue everywhere. Better wait till it's dry. I did a top-notch repair job. I did a top-notch repair job. There's glue on the cover. Perfect. We've got marching soldiers on the front cover. Hey, maybe I'll sell this as a collector's item instead. If I'm lucky, Hans won't notice it's not marches. Something tells me Thomas will.
Okay, here comes a real smasher.
Yeah. I meant that to happen. Job done. Hope no one heard the explosion. Thomas? Wait, I'll take off the headphones.
Fenton Paddock? What the hell are you doing here?
I'll explain later. You have to listen to me now. We don't have much time. Are you okay?
Fenton? You're back with the forces. Where's the rescue unit?
No. Listen to me, Thomas. Is everything okay? Are you injured?
Well, my ears are still ringing a bit, and I'm pretty knackered. They haven't let me sleep for 3 days.
Can you stand up?
Not as long as I'm handcuffed to this crate.
Okay, I can take care of that. I need to know what happened.
I suppose we were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
What do you mean?
Well, our mission was to survey the area. Richard's maps were taking us towards some key defense points. An old monastery set near a valley. It was dark when we got here. The search for the monastery was due to begin the following morning. We were prepping our gear and setting up camp when we heard explosions. The monastery was set on a mountain slope, and we could make out someone trying to blast open the entrance. We couldn't tell, but we assumed they were bandits. Richard ordered an attack. The maps showed a second, hidden entrance to the monastery, so we took a team up and made contact with the monks. We got in touch with the abbot, or whatever they call him, but we were too late. They stormed the main entrance. We were massively outnumbered. Didn't have a chance. The old monk hid Richard and I in a secret chamber. He was scared. Didn't think he'd make it. He told us something we were to remember at all costs.
And what was that?
He said, "The door is guarded by 2 dragons, Yao the Strong and Zhao the Wise. Zhao, the mother, is twice as old as her son, Yao." Something like that. Anyway, he made it, along with Richard, but I took a bullet and wound up here. I only realised then why we were overrun. Nazis put up a better fight than bandits, I guess.
What happened to Richard?
I assume he and the monk made it to the chamber, but I really don't know.
So Richard might still be there?
Maybe, if they had some supplies. But he might even have made it out.
Well, whichever the case, I'm going to find him. That chamber, where exactly is it?
In a kind of courtyard. There's a secret mechanism on the west wall.
Right. What are the Germans doing here anyway?
They found something very exciting in the monastery, but I haven't the faintest idea what it is. In any event, it's important enough to the boss around here, that Countess von Hagenhilt, to slaughter innocent monks. They kept asking me how to open the secret chamber, but I didn't give them anything. I suppose whatever they're looking for is in there.
You mean you didn't tell them anything about this dragon code?
No, not a word.
Thomas, do you have any idea how we can get out of here?
You're a card. The best thing would be to leave the same way you came, don't you think?
Yeah, we can forget about that. I kind of fell down a crevasse. Besides, you don't look like you're up for any sheer rock faces quite yet.
There are trucks leaving the camp several times a day. Maybe that's an option.
Sounds interesting. Okay, I'll find something to unlock the cuffs.
Might I suggest the key?
Not really my size, but what's this in the pockets? Perfect. The smallest key fits. The cuffs are open.
Thomas, let's get out of here. Can you walk?
I've had better days.
Maybe you better hang here until I can find us a way out.
I'll check out the trucks. Get out of here in style. I'll put the uniform on first. Blend in with the locals. I doubt Thomas is better off in there. I have to get him out of this camp. The truck is a good option, but I'm not leaving until Thomas is on board. Hey, yeah, I can just drive Thomas out of here. I can hide him in the back of the truck. If we make it past the gate, we're home dry. Okay, Thomas is hiding in the back of the truck. If my luck holds, then the key's in the ignition.
Hey, what are you doing there, Junge? Another one caught the bug. It's this weather. I've had a cold this entire time.
Yeah, can hardly speak.
Don't worry about it. You wanted to go to the monastery, did you? Mm-hmm. Did the men up there order another truck? At this time of the day? I've told those fools 100 times that I will not allow a convoy to drive up there at this time of the day. They better learn to stick to the rules. No truck leaves the base after 1600, unless they've made a find of utmost priority up at the monastery. What's all this about anyway? What needs to be picked up so urgently?
Well,
What did they say on the radio? Whatever, I just need the military assignment form, filled out in full. Have them give you one in the radio room. If the finds are particularly important, I can send you up with a truck. I'll be in the barracks. But don't come back unless we're talking really important finds. Otherwise, we'll have it picked up in the morning.
Very well. Radio room, form, and important find. Off we go. Locked. It's always the last key, isn't it? Doors open. Thank goodness. Nobody here. Not much point without a second recorded tape. These papers here look like the special assignment forms the guard was talking about. I'll take one with me. Okay. Which of these list entries is important enough to make the guard approve a special trip to the monastery? Not much point without a second recorded tape. Let's hear this recording.
After 2 hours of traditional marching band torture or oral discomfort treatment, I continue to question him regarding Object 28. He continues to claim he has no knowledge of the item in question. Object 28 is vital to the success of our project. Further questioning scheduled.
Object 28? What project? Cheeky Nazis. I filled in the form with one of the lost objects. If it's important enough, I'll get my hands on a truck to transport it. I filled in the I love forms as much as the next guy, but I really don't think I need another. At least if I get a sudden hankering, I know where I can find more. None of the keys fit.
Here's the form.
What, you're bothering me with this? Tell the men at the monastery this is a joke. We'll send the truck up tomorrow morning.
A man can never use enough forms.
Okay. Which of these list entries is important enough to make the guard approve?
Here's the form.
What? Teufel, what a find! Frau Hagenhild will be thrilled. Los, what are you standing around for? Start the truck and head up there.
Zu Befehl.
We can't get any higher in the truck. You'll have to continue on foot from here.
How far is it?
800 meters, maybe a kilometer. The path forks halfway. Head to the left to reach the side entrance.
Okay. You head back down the pass with Kim. Try to make it to the Indian border. When you get there, contact...
Hello?
Yes?
This is one of your terrible jokes, right?
What do you mean?
This is the second time you've tried to palm me off. You're sending me away with a complete stranger? Sorry, no offense.
None taken.
Kim, I've known Thomas for a long time. He's not about to sell you for a camel. I, on the other hand...
Oh, please. Where exactly would you be right now if it weren't for me?
Kim...
Impaled on an argali? Stuck down a crevasse?
I'm not saying you haven't helped, but this is no place for young girls.
Oh, of course. I forgot. You infiltrated the German camp all on your own.
Fine. My life's achievements I owe entirely to you. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Close enough. So your friend here can just head on down the mountain on his own. Sorry. Nothing against you.
No problem.
Fine. Fine. Just stop yelling before you bring the whole German army down on us. But I'm warning you, this is not playtime. It's a very serious rescue mission. You'll do what I say, when I say it, and without complaining.
Deal.
You better get going, Thomas.
Okay. Good luck, you two. If I were in better shape, I'd be with you. Look after him, Kim. I'll head for northern India and contact Lord Weston from there.
Good luck, Thomas.